Welcome back, guys, to another iteration of Hemaists talking themselves into the grave. We are going to talk about rule sets today, and as you may have noticed, it's not just Marco and me, but there are two more members here. Maybe you guys want to introduce yourself, because you are basically the reason we do this video.
That's not entirely correct. You wanted to do this. You agreed to it.
It's an idea, so now we're pulling through with
So, this is Toby.
And this is Melissa.
He
And
has some experience in tournaments abroad, so
yeah, we are two German fencers which are traveling to almost every tournament we can find to get this sweet ELO rating. Or at least we try to.
what's either waiting?
The important stuff.
you guys have a lot of experience, and for this video I think it's good if you have a lot of experience so we can babble and yap about a lot of different rule sets. I will say we will just get right into it. So let's
What's
get
the
this
first?
shit. We're gonna start with my coach, a triangle. And we are
That's
going
the
to
best.
put the rule sets so you guys know where the rule set kind of fits on this triangle. It's separated into priority, into first hit, and into afterblow, and all of the things in between. So I would say we just start with this one actually, because it's one
What's
of
that? I
it's
can't see it.
Parubits, and this is probably one of the most simple rule sets that you can find, because it's essentially, so they will say it's not first hit. There's zero priority, and they call it first tempo though. So there
First
is
tempo.
some kind of, so it's not just the first hit and it ends, but they go a bit by extension and all. So it's a bit longer than just first hit. But essentially that's it. I would, for example, put it here because there's zero priority in it. There's no weighted zones or anything. I would put it.
So just for my idea, so first tempo hit, this means everything that hits within this first tempo. So there's some small space for an afterblow then,
So I wouldn't call it an afterblow
or
because
a
it's
weighted
basically
double
a
or a
double.
double.
It's a double.
Yeah, double.
So
But
there's
the tempo defines, so when one is starting the tempo with the action, and the one gives you a counter hit, and then the tempo of the first to hit, blah blah. This tempo counts. So there's okay. So it's not about whoever touched. Okay, understand.
basically
So
if
you have
you extend into the extension of the other person, it's mainly still going to be considered a hit.
Okay.
So, what is happening if you start your attack, receive a hit to the hands in between, and then landing your hit?
That's too late.
So, the person who's hitting the hand would score the point.
Okay.
so it's
I don't know.
basically double tempo.
It's very close actually to our rule set. It's a bit shorter, and
Mhm.
actually, you guys in Berlin HEMA Cup had a very similar rule set for the tempo with a bit more time. But essentially, this is it. And now I would let's go into rating it. Great, TLS is still there. And I'm going to be real, I have a soft spot for rule sets like this. Because it's, in my opinion, it's the most consistent rule sets that you can have. It's the easiest to get right if you new to organizing. And I have the least feeling of getting robbed on the planche.
Okay. One.
Everything is
before
1 point, or is there point distributed?
other weighted target areas.
No, there's no weighted target zones. Everything is 1 point in this case.
Do flat hits count?
So if they are loud, then they
Officially,
might.
are they allowed? Is
if-
there a dividation about edge strikes or flat strikes?
It depends on the hit. If like I said, if it's a loud hit, then it's probably gonna count. Yeah.
It
But
is
if
what?
it's like incidental and you kind of get there with the flat, then it's not gonna count.
So you can intentionally hit with the flat and get a point for it.
Yeah, if you
Straight
get
up
an
F tier. Straight up F tier.
Is it fenced to 5 points in group stage and 7 in LMs?
Yes,
Okay, everything is. Can you win with a double?
yes, you can win with a double.
Okay, okay.
Like I said, I have a soft spot for it. I would put it in A actually, because I think it's
No.
it's the most
Mm.
consistent rule set that you can find. And if you guys start out doing tournament, I would actually. Yeah, okay. Anyway,
So simple rule sets are okay, but it a certain amount of complexity is also good. So I
That's
don't
why
fence it perfectly, but when I think, okay, first everything gets 1 point, that's okay, that's fine. Then with the flat hits, but yeah, it's a first hit. I think first hit rules or everything that tends to first hit is a little bit outdated nowadays. And yeah, I don't fence it, but I would point it between C or B.
C or B.
Therefore,
Okay.
C or B.
Melissa, Toby.
Are there any criteria for quality of hit? So, for example, if I would like to do a flat hit towards the hands of my opponent, is it okay if I just do a small movement? Or is there any kind like a rule for you have a specific way your blade has to move to score a point?
It's very dependent on the judge actually, if they call validity or not.
But what's the criteria when we say about it's consistent?
I think it's basically like if it could inflict a wound is
It
like
could afflict a
the
wound.
way it's
But that's
implied.
okay.
No, it's a C for me.
I most likely enjoy rule sets which define everything as 1 point. I would probably give it a B tier, in all honesty.
So we have A, 2 times B, and 1 C, so it's B.
I
Yeah,
think B is a good standard for it.
we can put it in B. I actually think the good points that you brought are like this rule set basically stands or falls with how quality is actually judged. If quality is judged nice, then it works really well. But if it's not, then yeah, it suffers. Probably
It's
the
simple.
most
Simple
from
is
a lot of
always
rule
good.
sets.
Let's go in a row. Go with the Berlin Hammer Cup.
Yeah,
Next.
so I actually put this quite close to this one. This is basically, I mean, you guys wanted to do the Bolognese. So just for information, Melissa is deeply involved in the Berlin Cup. so
Only a little bit. Only a little bit biased.
only like that.
But before we talk so much shit about this rule set, we are considering to change it. So probably it's gonna be another one next year.
We ought to. We are to a good start here.
So maybe we take the best one from our ranking today. So fine. Yeah, it's a little bit overcomplicated rule set. You have 2 different point scoring systems you have to count on the same time. So the first kind of points you're trying to collect is your survival points, and which means you were hitting without getting hit. And if you're doing this successfully, it's 1 survival point. But now it's the problem if 2 persons have the same amount of surviving points. Therefore, you have a second point scoring system, which is weighted target zones. So yeah, the most important point is to collect as many survival points as possible. But if it's the same amount of survival points, you have some different rules which are playing to decide which person is winning.
So when I fenced it, I think it felt like it was I mean, it's a bit longer than Pardubitzky, maybe like this. It's like kind of first tempo hit-like rule set that disguises itself with a weighted afterblow. But it really doesn't really matter, because if you just hit without getting hit a few times, then you're safe to go. And you could even actually double out a lot. The second layer barely comes into play. So only the exchanges where you just hit without getting hit, they are really, really important.
Which is also very important because you only have a few amount of exchanges per duel. So it's, I think, 5 exchanges in group stage and 7 in elims.
And 9 in finals. But it's different. It's different from tournament to tournament. So some tournaments have only 3 exchanges.
Yeah,
or
we should
even
probably
more.
add that it's a Bolognese system rule set. So, Marco, I don't know. Do you have you fought
We had
other
it in
Bolognese
Austria.
systems, right?
We had it in Austria, but I never fought it, and we canceled it out of the rules because the person who were responsible for it wasn't able to participate in the new rule set arrangement. So no, I didn't fence under it, and I looked into it sometimes, and it was so different from what we have from the other rule set aspect that we just dropped it from that point
So
because it's kind of
you
I
mean
think
the
that's a problem because people have problems to understand the rule set because it's different to the usual ones. I think if you understood it at some point, it's okay to fence with it, but in the beginning, it's really complicated.
The problem is that it gets quite snowbally really fast. So usually the person who scores the first clean hit just doubles out the rest and wins the match with it.
Yeah, but
Okay.
therefore we have at least in the elimination the rule for 2 survival points at least to end the
yeah in the Berlin HEMA Cup case, and also the Bolognese system is is that a part of it? The round robin system? Is that part of the Bolognese system? Is it just in Germany, or is it generally a Bolognese system thing?
And I think it's a Bolognese thing, so you have either large groups, large pools, or you have one small. In small tournaments, you have only one pool for everyone, and everyone tries to fence with everyone. But it's not typical for Germany.
So, what's your guys' opinion on large round robin systems? I personally, I'm not a super big fan of it because I like when there's like a good elims run because it's like very exciting. Also, yes, you can drop out quite early if you fucked it up, especially if you lose in your first pool round in the normal system. But the Bolognese system often it gets kind of confusing, if you get what I mean.
Yeah.
Yeah,
But I think
but
that sorry.
it's meant to have as many fights as possible, especially for beginners, which usually usually dropping out quite early in the elimination. So we try to create a system where everyone gets as many fights as possible. Therefore, we have large pool rounds. But yeah.
Okay, where would you put it here? Because I actually this felt like I was like you were trying to defend it a lot. No, that's not where I wanted to go at all. Let's go and rate the system.
Yeah, so for me,
For me,
it's kind of it's the same. I would put it more likely in C because I'm not a big fan of big round robin rounds, mainly because as someone who fans like 10, 12 tournaments a year, having a lot of pool fights means that I have to fence quite a lot, and therefore the risk of injuries throughout the year increased drastically. We have the same in Austria, in a town called Linz, where we have a tournament where you have only 21 people who fence it, but you fence everyone. So you have like 20 fights, what means that you have double the fights you would have
Bro,
if
20
you have a
fights
good
is
run at the norm. 20 fights. Yeah.
20 fights is a
Yeah.
crazy amount.
So, and that's the problem with the round robin stuff, is
Usually-
it makes perfectly sense if you have one tournament or 2 tournaments a year, because then you can fence a lot. But if you go to like 10, 12 tournaments a year, then this one is like 2 tournaments within one tournament.
Also, kind of depends now how long was the individual match. So if you just go up to
Yeah.
3 points or 3 or let's say 5 exchanges, then it's a lot shorter. But then I actually prefer just having a normal pool bout that's
Yeah.
up to 5 points in total, because then the fencing itself is just longer and you don't have so much dead time in between fights and all that stuff. So yeah, I would put it into C tier. Actually, I could see it in low B tier, but also there's the confusion with the 2 ways of scoring,
Yes.
which
I know.
is
It's
also
also a thing,
confusing.
yeah.
So I would put it into C tier.
I would probably put it in C tier too, just because I'm not a fan of limited exchanges. I want my fights written as decided with points or time stoppage. But I don't like limited exchanges.
Yeah, when you basically lost the match, for example, and then you still have to go 2 times, and you're like, bro,
Just get this over
just
with.
end it.
Get me out of this.
Yeah.
Would never happen to us.
Yeah.
Ah, never. Never.
Now, for Melissa, where would you put it?
Well, we used it in our tournament.
Yes, that's why I'm exactly. That's
S tier.
exactly why I'm asking.
Bias.
You're all wrong.
Again, that's overcomplicated. But I personally like a large round robin pools or phases. But we have not 20 people to fence with. We have 10 in our group phase. But yeah, I think I cannot tell anything else to get it out of C. So put it there.
It's
Okay.
probably going to land there anywhere. Anyway.
Accepted. But yeah. Let's go. Then we ended in C tier.
What's the next?
Next one. So maybe we should.
Yeah. Marco is ready to start. Now the shots fired, bro.
Do it. Click on it. Click on it.
Click on it. Okay.
Oh. Oh.
So this is the Fable rule set, which is a priority right of way rule set.
Yeah, but it's full blown right of way priority rules.
It's essentially here.
Yeah.
There's
That's it.
no.
That's the definition.
Put it right on the edge where it belongs.
I guess you could, but anyway, because you can kind of attack and prep, but then that doesn't.
You can kind of attack and prep. So when someone is really slow in their attacking, you could probably attack in prep, pull back, and get hit afterwards, and it's still the same tempo. But it's then too slow for the judges.
Yeah,
so
it depends on the judges. If they still call priority, which in this case they probably should, but I prefer it if they don't. Good.
Yeah.
Yeah, you're a big proponent of this, Marco. Where would you put it?
Straight up S plus. No.
S plus.
No. So the thing
important
is,
question: are you allowed to hit with the flat?
Essentially,
no.
Yes.
Yes.
This case,
yes, and this is the biggest point because we have in the at Wiener Bosch we have actually hit criteria, and one hit criteria is that you need to hit with the edge, and this is why I would only put it in A tier, because they sometimes say, yeah, well, if it's strong enough, and I think it's the same thing with, yeah, if it would have caused a wound, yeah, then it's still a valid hit, and therefore, for me, just A tier. But the ruleset just makes sense, you know. It's for me. I'm a big fan of parry post games, and this is that's just the perfect thing. And also, I think when people fight priority or right of way, then the fencing gets way faster and more athletic than any other tournament booster is. And I love the concept of when I threaten you, you need to do something against it and not just let yourself get hit and then go for the afterblow. So I'm a big fan of this.
What is your opinion on Flash Aufstreichen action to the hands?
The defined Flash Aufstreichen actions?
This is kind of an action that won Turnhow last year.
The Mikolai versus Antek thing. Where Mikolai just got the priority every time because he did an Aufstreichen with a flash, with an undercut to Antek's hand.
Yeah, so it's like a really suicidal attack.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's kind of... I mean, you can actually do actions against it, you know? But
it's
don't
really
do it.
hard to
we
defend.
Don't trade.
Even if you...
Yeah, it's really hard to defend.
Even if you close out the Streich, and this is where the judging also comes in, because you can, for example, do you lock the sword with a Sperren motion, anything, or something like a Krumpau with your hands on top.
Yeah.
And he can still push the point through for a thrust, for example. And now the question is, okay, is this an attack and a remise, which would mean there's no priority? Or is this all one attack and then it gets priority? And in this case, they often assign priority. So this made a very strong attack, and then you're at a point where actually parrying is not that great of an option anymore because the attack is so strong and you can define it so over such a long time.
Yeah, because this is like the main point. You need to define such actions, and I'm a big fan of intention in judging also. And this is why like many judges and myself don't get along with the idea that as a judge I need to in some sort guess what action the attack was, you know, and when someone's just striking with a cut and then just going straight forward and making a thrust out of it, it's two actions, and you as a judge need to decide what's the idea. And I think that it is possible to see if someone's thrusting or if someone's striking. So it's possible to keep apart the intention.
It should be, yeah, but it's not how...
It should be.
When you fence, it's not how it plays out. Which is something with every rule set, of course. Because in the end, the judges and how they interpret things.
But I think that's why I can't put it in S, because it stands and falls with the quality of the hit. And when I saw Turnhow, for example, then it would have changed a lot in the fencing, or it would have slowed down the fencing if quality was a thing. And that's the main point with the Phoebus rule set, is that flat hat a hits count.
Yeah, if so they are, I think it's explicitly to the hands and the head, the flat hits, but yes.
I got situations, I think in Bratislava Fecht, they used the same rule set, and then he striked me to the leg with the flat, and they was discussing, oh, is it enough, is it enough? I felt it was definitely enough, because it was a hell of a bruise. But, you know, I think when something is flat, even to the head, it makes the fencing so much worse in every aspect, I think.
Yeah, this is where you are like, actually, this is probably martial, but it's ugly as fuck, so I don't want to see it.
Because the problem with it is we have a maximum problem with measuring force. You know, we can't measure force. But what we can do, we also can't measure speed in fencing. But what we can measure is distance and edge alignment. And I think those are the two key factors that determines if something is a valid hit or not. And when we're discussing, was it enough? Was it fast enough? Was it hard enough? Then we just have like 5 fencers having 5 different opinions, because the one beating the shit out of each other and say, well, that's nice and fun. And the other one is like getting tickled and rolling on the ground and say, well, it's extensive force. So
edge alignment is really hard to judge, though. Like, you can do it.
But when you say you have edge alignment and you don't count flat hits, then you force people out. First of all, you force them to change the grip on the sword. That's the first thing, because if you don't judge edge alignment, everyone is standing in thumb grip all the time, because then you can do all the actions out of thumb grip and never have to change. And second of all,
I'm joking.
no, but I think when you say edge alignment is important, and you say, well, this wasn't a quality hit, even though he hits quite extensive and with force, because it was flat. Fencing gets slowed down, I think, and it gets more controlled and more appealing to watch.
And you can get it with a video challenge.
Yeah, and you can get it in video challenge.
Yeah. It does change a few things, actually.
Because all the time someone is like ropping over the parry or something and touches the body.
I would probably put it in low B tier.
I have
High
another
C tier,
question for this rule set.
Yes?
Just imagine you have one fencer running forwards, sliding on their chin protection towards you, and trying to cut your leg. Is it priority?
Wait, you gotta repeat that.
Basically a power slide.
Yes.
On his
We had a fencer at our tournament doing that, and I wanted to give a yellow card for unprotected fencing, but if it's priority, it should count as a hit, right?
It would probably count, but
yeah,
I'm not sure.
If he wants,
yeah, I'm not sure about unsafe behavior and how they rule that. Actually,
I
think you can't put the head to, you can't turn the back of your head or the back to the fencing while fencing. So what usually happens, what I see quite often when people doing stupid stuff like hitting the foot or the ankle, is that they push over to the ground and then exposing the back of the head, and therefore they get the yellow or red card.
Yeah, I think that's my problem with priority rule sets, that some people tend to abuse this and try to just do really, really stupid and unprotected hits. But I see it's there's some sense behind this kind of rule set. So yeah, I just think you have to penalize some of the protected actions.
For me, I like this rule set a lot, honestly. I had a lot of fun fencing at Bratislava Fecht exactly with this rule set. Of course, you can play it a little bit. You can abuse some actions with priority, but I'm a huge fan of you got parried. You just can't attack a second time. You actually have to defend yourself in order to get priority again to do your second hit. So for me, it would be a A tier, definitely.
Yeah, it's all about the parry post stuff. It's
Okay.
like the core idea. It's the core idea of priority is the parry post. To prioritize parry post.
Yeah.
That you have those exchanges.
In theory, yes.
In theory.
But the way it's sometimes judged. The thing is, with priority, you have the biggest margin of judges able to fuck it up. In theory, I really fucking like the idea, but even like the Slovak Federation is really good at judging. They have really good judges, but even within them, there's a big margin of what priority can end up looking like, and where an attack starts and where it ends, and where it would be a second attack, or if it's still all one attack. Because this is basically the difference between you getting the parry riposte or they getting the attack.
Yeah.
And
that's the reason why we have, like, in Masters class in Bratislava 6, 4 judges. Well, 2 judges on each side. Because it's sometimes really hard to see in the spot.
Did they have 4 judges?
They have, in Masters, they have 4 judges, on each side too.
I thought it was
just definitely. No, they had 4 judges.
That's a nightmare to organize.
Yeah, I think
they had a lot of judges.
I think 2 of them were main. I'm gonna be killed. A friend of mine is infamous. Yes, it is Slovak Federation anyway.
Yeah.
So you really need good judges, and you need a lot of judges. That's a kind of a problem.
Yeah.
You
Yes,
don't
but that's not a problem
need
of the rules.
more than
Not a
2
problem.
judges. You can do it with 2 judges per planche.
And
A
we
lot
have
of
to add something. It's also there is a possibility of simultaneous hits. So sometimes when both fences are
This was a
attacking
huge
at the same
upgrade.
time.
This
Yeah.
was a huge
Then it's
upgrade,
and you
actually.
can't see it with the bare eyes who is attacking first, take the initiative. Then you say it's simultaneously and have a normal double hit. So this is.
I would put it in B tier. I think you guys want to see it in A tier, but
I
Melissa
would give
wants
it a
to see
good
it in
B.
C.
I would give it a B.
No,
A good B.
I would vote for B as well.
Oh, you would vote for B as well.
But a good B.
Shit, I don't want to put it
really
in front
the
of
first,
No, you
the highest.
I don't want to put it in front of I tried, guys.
What you also can do very nice at this rule set is just parry everything at a highlight and then repost as low as you possibly can.
But definitely didn't have 35 times in a row against you.
That's how you win your matches.
Part of it is low-key my secret S tier, but I wanted to see. Feder League. I think we all went to Poker Armory Club
Flashback.
this year.
Yeah.
And you guys were at, what was it?
Yeah,
Melissa,
we were
were
at
you
Blackhorns
too?
Cup.
Blackhorns
Yes,
Cup.
I was there as well.
Yeah.
Blackhorns Cup.
It's the same rule set, right?
Yeah.
So, Melissa, you're often in Poland. Maybe you can explain it a bit, the rule set.
Yeah, well, I always forget when I travel there, and I always have to read the rules again.
Oh, perfect.
We're off to a good start.
Yeah, especially because they have so many special rules. For example, if you're in the finals, in the after the normal time is running out, you have another time, or you have more minutes. I don't know. I think it's 1 minute just, but therefore you have some different rules than for the normal fight. And yes, sometimes I forget. And yeah, it
This
happened a lot
sounds
that people are
awfully
coming to me and
complicated.
tell me,
I think the baseline is you are having a 2-1 system, so 2 points deep, 1 point shallow, and in the pools you fence to 5 points, and in the LMs I think also 5 points, and they only change it in the finals, I think, or somewhere later in the tournament.
Yeah. And they have different add-ons for different weapon categories. So
would you put it like a bit to afterblow, but a bit with
it depends. It
priority?
depends because when you fence saber, it's between priority and afterblow because you still have the afterblow, but you have the rule for priority of parry post. So when you parry, you have 1 tempo right to riposte immediately, but you still have the afterblow for every other situation. So
Which
it's
is
between
very
priority and
short.
afterblow.
Which
Which is
very
very short and only direct. So you can't. So the afterblow is actually you need to. No, when you get hit, no matter what position you are, you immediately need to extend the arm forward to make the afterblow count. So
Yeah,
you can't push your arms back or going to the other side. So you immediately need to attack to the body.
Also, I think there's a rule then if a double happens and you get hit in the hands and hit the opponent somewhere else, the hand hit doesn't count.
no, it's just for deep target.
No,
Just for deep target? Okay.
it's priority. So when
Yeah.
someone is like thrusting you to the torso and you get that
Undercut?
undercut to the hands, it's priority of deep target, and you get the point.
In longsword or
I
saber?
don't. In
longsword.
I think in all categories.
Really?
Definitely in longsword, but I think also in saber. Yeah.
I think in saber there's a special rule for thrust to the hand, which is stopping the afterblow.
Okay. Maybe something like that. But it's just the idea is that you're not just striking in so someone's attack. You need to in some sort parry it first.
And also with one-handed cuts and thrust, there's also priority over with 2 hands over one-handed.
Oh yeah, that's actually something I should have mentioned in.
Yeah. So you have like a
should have
lot
mentioned
of
tier
stuff. Yeah.
Same.
I think you have in Phoebus you have point in line also.
Oh yeah, you have point in line and two-handed is winning against one-handed actually.
Yeah.
So maybe we can put it to A.
One-handed deparization is very important. I think that's
So-
I think it should go A tier now.
Fedder
Yeah.
or
No.
Phoebus?
Yeah.
That was
It is straight up A tier.
Come
It's
on,
an
give it
insult,
A
it's
tier,
something
bro.
less.
I
Do
don't want
it.
to put it in A
No!
No!
Do it for Nico, do it for Matush. Matush
Yeah,
wants to see it in A tier,
I got
definitely.
overruled here.
Uh, and
Okay.
and the Polish rules are straight up S tier.
S
It's the
tier?
best. It's the best brew set out there, by far.
I would also rate it very highly. I would give it an A tier.
Just
Just
having
and
groups 5 points and Elam's 5 points when you can make 2 points in an exchange is immediately not A tier anymore for me.
for me, this is the only reason that it's not S tier. I don't like it too. For me, it's you have to score 2 less points that it actually matters. So for me, it would be an A tier.
There would be A tier. Melissa, for you?
A tier.
Okay.
It's
thing
all
is-
about it has some weaknesses, but they're special rules.
The only weakness basically is you need 2 less points. If they would change it to 7 or 10 points, it would be perfect. It would
Yeah,
be
if
straight
they-
up S tier.
For me too. Because just. I'm not saying that you can sleep through the first 3 hits and then basically the match is over, and that's a bad thing. That's not a bad thing per se, but it really ends the matches very early. And I'm actually, maybe this is a personal thing too, because I'm a fencer. I usually catch up because I get decked in the beginning usually, and then I catch up and often turn
Sounds
it
like a
around.
skill issue.
And in Poland, this does not work.
No.
You
no.
just
Yeah, and
get decked.
there's also the problem that if you start your tech and the other person is just doubling, it's also no points for everyone. And sometimes it's getting a little bit annoying if you have someone just doubling and don't care about the first attack.
Yeah, so there's no points assigned in case of
Yeah.
a double.
Yes.
I actually don't like that as well. At least.
But you still have dividation. So when you thrust to torso head, you still get 2 points, and the arms are still 1, not only the hands.
So it doesn't happen as often, is what you want to say.
I think it doesn't happen that often, and it favors deep target attacks. That's the main point,
That's
because
something I actually.
it favors it, because you have a weighted target area, what basically means that if I want to catch up, for example, or it's like 4-3 and the time runs out, I basically can win the whole the bout with one exchange. So deep targets are much more attractive to me, especially in longsword. And they put in all these extra add-ons with 2 hands over 1 hand's priority of deep target. That also favors or make it possible to hit these deep targets without getting catched within. And that's why it's so good, because it's not only just a weighted target area, it also gives you a lot of extra add-ons that favors those deep target hits, if you want to do it good.
Yeah, you're right.
End of discussion. Okay.
We see you. We understand you. It's
Would
okay.
you put it before or before?
Yes.
That
A tier
I
before Phobos, please.
yeah, I also think it's better than. I'm gonna get killed after this. Okay. No.
I bring a shovel.
Matusz is gonna hate me.
but he got his A tier at least, so you know
Yeah.
you cannot be
true.
that sad.
Which he didn't get it because of me. Okay. Helsinki, like, this is just a placeholder for Nordic rules, I guess.
Now you fucked up all the Nordic people.
I fucked up all the Nordic people. Are
I
there
don't
big
know.
Now you
differences?
definitely
If
get
it's
grilled
Nordic.
in the comments, bro.
So, I only was at Helsinki Longsword Open. It's actually, there's only one thing I really don't like. I guess 2 things, but We can. Where would you? I would.
It's an after. It's a weighted double
It's
hit, but
supposed to be an
it's
afterblow, but it's really not.
no,
And
because
it has
it's still the same.
priority
Yeah.
with weighted zones. So there's.
Really?
Does it have priority?
It's not priority, but
No.
they are basically you are basically assigning priority by weighting zones. At least
Yeah, but that's
my
not
take.
priority. That's just
That's
weighted
not
target
priority.
areas. That, in my opinion, there's nothing to do with priority
In
because
my
there's
opinion,
no.
it's a form of assigning priority.
But it's not a form of assigning priority by actions.
No,
it's
not by
just by
actions.
by points.
Yes, by points.
So therefore,
And-
every weighted target area tornado reset would be kind of have a priority.
It's
And
yeah.
also, it's a fully weighted afterblow, so you can win
Yeah.
with afterblow, which quite makes it an afterblow rule set.
Yeah.
No, this is what I mean. Why I would actually say that's more of a priority thing than an afterblow thing, in my opinion. Having it fully
I
weighted.
think then we have a bit of a problem with definitions.
Yeah, maybe.
Because I see within this, I see it by action, you know. Whatever, what are not with the target area, only by.
I agree
by
with
actions.
Marco on this one.
Yeah.
For me, the afterblow is you have the same amount for points you can score with the afterblow than with the first hit. That's for me the prototypical afterblow rule set.
Really?
Yes.
For me, afterblow just means there's an action behind the first hit. That's allowed.
Yeah, for me, afterblow would be an tempo after the tempo that caused the first hit.
Exactly. That's
Yeah.
what.
That's
Then it would be
stereotypical
like.
afterblow.
Then it would
What?
be here, for example.
Yeah,
For me.
but
yeah.
that's not quite the case.
No, that's not the case. It's actually
So
more here.
it's somewhere between first hit and afterblow.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But in my opinion, it assigns a form of priority by weighting zones. But whatever.
Yeah,
Whatever.
but think
Now
somewhere
it's
here,
just
somewhere.
confusing, I guess.
Yeah.
I think we
That's the
found the
reason
right
why
spot. Let's continue.
I think it's actually a good rule set. What for me keeps it from S and A is there's no video and there's too many judges in.
There's no video in Helsinki,
No, there was no video.
so also not in elimination.
No.
Straight up F tier.
So that's what keeps it from S and A for me.
No,
You know,
it's
the
a
video
good-
challenge is important, at least from the elimination zone.
Yeah.
What they did change is they did not look at you menacingly when you were a bit protesting this year. So they actually sometimes listened to fences, which
I almost got
they didn't.
Bro, I almost got a card because of you. Can you not remember?
Oh right, shit.
You almost said point and they wanted to give me a yellow card because of it.
Yeah, they once they thought I was telling the ref that there was a hit. I actually just called for someone. I don't know. I don't even know. It was a misunderstanding though. Like it was not on purpose.
I think that the rule set is, from the concept, it makes perfect sense and it's logical. And it's therefore a good rule set. Is it the favorite? Because because London is kind of the same rule set, or it's quite similar to it. And I feel like it's quite tempting in this rule set to block with your hand so that you get hit into a shallow target and then straight up go for the head. When you can do it properly, because when you are learning to not have any preparation, then you probably almost get the afterblow in.
And people basically don't care about hand hits in general.
Yeah.
If someone goes for the hands in any way, immediately they will cut to the head.
Maybe you can just say a little bit about this rule set, how many points you will score for which target area.
I think that's quite important
I
because it's
open it.
it's not a 2-1 rule set, it's a
It's a
3-2
3-2,
rule
yeah.
set. So you get 3 points for deep targets and 2 points for shallow targets. That means that if I score a clean hit to the hands, I get 2 points. And if, for example, you thrust me and I get an undercut to the hands or something else in, you only get 1 point. So you can do a lot of clean fencing there, which
Yeah.
saves the rule set a little bit for me. I think they also completely banned one-handed actions,
In
like
Helsinki,
Completely
they
everything.
did
banned.
that,
Yeah, which I don't like because why should a completely valid one-handed thrust to the face not count? That for
Yeah.
me, I don't understand.
It's just they don't like the look of what the fencing is like. It's again the thing with the martiality. Would be completely martial to thrust into someone's face, but in their head, it probably looks ugly and makes the fencing look worse, so they banned it. Which I don't agree with too, but I think it's actually a valid opinion you can have.
Yeah, you can have, but you don't need to have.
No.
I probably would put it somewhere around A or B tier. You can definitely have a lot of fun with this rule set. It tends to get quite doubly really fast. Basically, if you have edge on some points, you don't have to look at everything, just hit the hand or hit the head or thrust to the torso, and you can never lose again.
Guys, wait.
I think that's
Yeah.
kind of
You
problematic.
guys are frozen.
If you cannot recover from one
I
stupid
think I'm
exchange.
having network
I don't like that.
problems.
Even if you game it, it's still a good rule set. You know what I mean? So even though if you want always get to hit the hand, you still only would count 1 point, you know, and it's up to 10 points. So even though if you have 10 exchanges and every time you let yourself hit in the hand and go for the head, you still get 1 point. So this kind of, it's not worth it to game it that often, you know. You can game it, but it's not worth that, you know. So I would give it a B rating, but a lower B rating.
I would put it in low B too.
Yeah.
Yeah, I agree. He sounds about right.
So what I actually wanted to add, but I had network issues, I dropped out. Is a thing that I really like to do in fencing is threaten shallow targets to go for deep targets. And it's like a very big strategy. And it's a lot of fun to make nice fencing. And I think that's also kind of represented in sources too. But it's straight up a way of fencing that you cannot do. It does work in this rule set.
No, because every time you go for that vertical cut to the hands, you immediately eat the afterblow to the head.
Even if you just do an Oberhau action to the hands or something like that,
Yeah.
it's gonna be very fast cut to the head. And basically a double, but because of the weighted zones. Yeah. But we agree on B tier.
Stay with the B, yeah.
Then let's go to that next
Symphony of
rule
Steel.
set, which is the Symphony of Steel.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I'm gonna go now, guys.
I guess it's here. No. You
It's an
wanted this
afterblow
in
rule set. It's
here.
an
You
afterblow
cannot.
rule set.
You can't go out. No, you can't pull out. You wanted the rule set in this.
Can we open another category for continuous fencing?
Is that a possibility? But just put it right at afterblow, please. A little bit farther left. Farther.
No other left.
No, the other one.
What do you
Sorry.
mean here?
Yes, please. That's about right.
I need
They
to look up the
changed-
rules.
They changed it this year, and we weren't there this year. But last year, what you should know is there was a buzzer with a. So the ref had a remote control for a buzzer that they would press after they saw a hit, and then an internal clock would go down, and after that clock, the buzzer would go it was a speaker would make a sound, and I'm gonna be real. It didn't really work well. Half of the times, it felt like it registered far too late, and sometimes you had to parry 3 to 4 afterblows to make your own hit count, which, yeah. Last year it was not fully weighted though. It was a deductive afterblow. I think this year it is fully weighted.
Yes, basically it's a 2-1 system, and deep are 2 points, shallow is 1 point, and it's fully weighted with this buzzer.
Yes, they
So
help
the
this.
afterblow window is 0.3 seconds.
In
Yeah.
theory, yes.
But you have the reaction time.
In practice, if, for example, the judge doesn't click the buzzer at the right amount, you have 2 or 3 seconds after blow. This can happen.
And
Okay,
as
okay.
for last year, half of the times the judges themselves were like, we don't want to use the speakers. And then you had planches where speakers would be used, some where they weren't used. And it was a very confusing and a very inconsistent experience because you had fences that got ruled with the speakers, which fundamentally changed the fencing in this situation, and
Yeah.
other planches where there were no speakers used, where they just called stop when they saw a hit, and they just let the next tempo count, which actually worked okay in my opinion. But yeah, the second they used the
Also, they
speakers,
changed
it
it now
killed
to
it.
life points. So you're not fencing for points, but for life points. Everyone has, for example, 7 life points. And I think you have 5 minutes, quite a long time per match. And your goal is
Mm.
to reduce the life points to 0. And whoever gets 0 life points first loses the match.
But if the time is running out and one person has, for example, 1 life point left, the other one 5, it's a draw.
Exactly. So they wanted to ensure not that much aggressive. They wanted to improve defensive fencing, but they also included a rule: if you don't get your opponent's life point to 0, you don't win. You just get draws.
Which is probably gonna end up in more aggressive fencing.
Definitely.
General.
Yeah, and it's also it's just the reversed way of
Thinking
pointing,
about points,
counting
yeah.
points. You know, it's just okay. The time goes no up. It's just go from bottom to down. So
Yeah.
I think it's Gladiatores. We had the same idea with it's not about who scores the most points. It's about who scores the less points because it's only about negative points.
It's
So
kind of
it doesn't change anything, you know.
yeah, it's just an ingenuine way of thinking about it. It's kind of
Yeah.
cosplaying. No, this is not a sport. This is real.
We do the real shit.
No.
But
Yeah.
actually it's the same thing. It's just
Yeah.
a charade, really.
It's just Latin.
Also, some areas are not excluded for scoring. For example, you can score points with hitting the back of the head.
So we went through this before the call. It's not fundamentally a penalty to hit the back of the head or the back, because probably what the idea is, if someone turns their back, then and the cut is already in motion, then it might still land at the back of the head. This is like a minor point I see in this rule set. I don't, because I think a lot of rule sets actually do this.
Yeah, a lot of rules adapt this. I have kind of issues with it because it actually the idea of not hitting the back of the head is that someone's turning around or exposing it and you see it and then actively attacking the back of the head is basically never happening. It's always kind of you are mid action and he's turning a little bit his head to the right and exposing his back of the head, and then you're already in action and hitting
And
it,
then it's gonna hit, yeah.
and then you don't get points, get penalty cards. And I receive a lot of those points, actually, especially when I fence smaller fencers and they overextend to my hands and exposing the whole back of the head. And I'm always striking kind of above. So it happens quite a lot against smaller fencers that I hit somewhere on the edge of the back of the head or on the back because of the height difference, So I don't know. I don't like that rule that much, but it's fine.
Do we even have to discuss more, or is it clearly an F
No.
tier?
So the thing is, with the speakers, it's actually an F tier because the setup just didn't work.
So with the speakers, it's definitely.
It's not. Yeah, without the speakers, I have not fenced the.
Yeah, it's a 2 tempi version without the speaker. They gonna.
Yeah, basically you have one extra tempo for an afterblow.
Theoretically, yeah.
Yeah. I don't know, maybe it would. But also without the life points. The life points thing is another thing that I don't like in a rule set.
Yeah, it's kind of we experiment a lot with different rules, and I don't think that something they put on is really changing anything. It's just it's good. It looks it's a stereotypical thing for it looks good on paper, but it doesn't change something.
No.
Just makes things more complicated.
Yeah. And I just like tournaments being upfront and like, yes, we know this is a sport. There are rules that incentivize different ways of fencing, but we are aware that this is a sport, and yeah, this is where I like just being upfront as a tournament.
For me, this rule set can actually be D tier if we change the buzzers to tempi afterblown. This is really important stuff, and the rule with the draw has to go out. It's just if you wanna incentivize defensive fencing, then you can't include a rule which destroys defensive fencing. For me.
Yeah.
And also, I think playing on time is something completely valid you can do in tournaments,
and then remove the life points thing, and we could actually get up to C tier.
Yeah, then it would be a decent afterblow rule set,
Yeah, but as we experienced it, I would actually.
Yeah, next one. Let's do the next one.
So the Freifechter Augustini is actually the one that this is based upon
that's
originally,
okay.
I think.
Okay. It's
right?
Is this
so they were essentially the same thing. Yeah, this is the Freifechter one. It's essentially an afterblow rule set with deductive afterblow. So you cannot win any points with the afterblow, and I think it only deducts 1 point with the afterblow.
Yes, that's basically the system. So it's a 2-1 system where the afterblow only can deduct 1 point. So if I go for a thrust to the torso and get an afterblow, I receive 1 point. Also,
that's essentially it. There's one more rule, which is you can get double losses in the original version. I'm not sure if they changed it now.
No, it's still the same.
It's still
but
in there.
it's only for open doubles, right? So I think they are switching between open and closed doubles. What an open double means is that if we don't touch with the blades, we have no blade contact at all. I throw a straight strike to your head. You do a Geiseln to my leg, and we both hit each other. Then we receive an open double. If we have some parry posts or some bind work before, it's a closed double.
Well, depends on the judge.
Depends on the judge, but you only receive the double loss if we have 3 open doubles.
But the definition of an open double is really depending on the judge.
Yeah.
Yeah. I never
think
like that. If there's
but I think the idea that afterblows can smaller the score point given is actually quite a good thing.
Valid.
So I'm also a big fan of having afterblows not really giving you any points, but it just reduce, so you can't game getting hit and going for the afterblow for a deeper target. So this is actually a really good thing.
If it has a really tight window, then I agree, then it can work.
Yeah.
If it's a bit longer, just a bit longer, then it really fast gets into the territory of, I feel like no one parries ever, and everyone is just chasing the deep target and then cutting afterblows to reduce points.
Yeah, or
and
just
then there's
renew
no
at the
parrying
attack.
anymore. Yeah. So this is where the timing just
You
depends.
can
So it could
punish bad preparation with it a lot. If I do a cut to your hands, to your head, or a thrust to the torso, but expose my hands in the at the way from the strike, you can mitigate the points for my clean strike just with a touch to my head, touch to my hand.
Then it's just a
Then
double.
it's just a double.
Right?
And if I do bad preparation, I don't get the points for it.
Okay, then it's just a double, which makes it actually harder to go into deep targets.
On the other side, it's also possible to strike to the hands, receiving the head cut from the other person, and then it's just 0 points. So you can do some unprotected actions without thinking about too much what the other person is doing. Because if it's bad, it's just no points.
As long as you hit.
As long as it is an afterblow, it's also not penalized with the open double rule.
I like it less than the Helsinki or the Nordic system. I prefer having the full afterblow system.
Give it a solid C tier behind the Berlin Hammer Cup.
I would actually agree. It's a rule set that can work. Personally, I just always like if deep targets are prioritized. For example,
I would actually put it in a bad B tier.
Yeah, I think it's working. It has some weaknesses with the double rule set, but otherwise it's working for me. It's simple and it's usable.
Okay, so we have 2C, 2B.
Can we put it in the middle?
We can put it.
I think the very last one of B tier is
It can
right.
be a low B tier. If we remove the double loss, it's a B tier.
Okay. Also,
I think
there's
we can
a
agree
rule
on that.
we have to talk about. If in elimination there's a draw and the time runs out, you get an advantage rule. So basically, you flip a coin, and the one who gets the coin flip right only has to double out.
And there's another one with the challenge I'm thinking about right now. You don't have the challenge, except the organizer is really voting for it. But by default, there's no challenge.
No, there is no challenge.
Well, in this case,
maybe we can
straight up.
If there's
no
challenge.
Sorry, you can't do this. Sorry, it's 2026. We have all smart
we can do it. I agree.
You can't do elimination without any challenge.
No. Then straight up, Berlin Hema Cup. You had challenges. It cannot be before. It cannot be in front of Berlin Hema Cup. I'm sorry.
Also thinking about advantage rule and the double loss rule. Okay, C tier is you overruled me. C tier is fine. Just put it into C tier as fast as possible.
Okay. Then maybe I'm gonna skip this because these three are actually very similar. So
yeah, they are all.
Also, this one actually, it's basically the same as the EHMS one, but it's the
same. But I think I think in Helsinki you have at least one main judge, and then you have the judges around. Am I right?
Yep.
So you have like more judges. And London is exactly the same, but you can score actually attacks with one hand. That's perfectly fine. But you only have 2 judges, each on one side. They are also not really judges. Most of them are just fencers sitting around, and everything is highly based on fair play. Really, really highly based. So it's like London was like the tournament where I have like the fairest. So basically, everyone is calling everything. If they get kind of touched in some way, they call it, and then the judge can decide whether it's good quality or not. So it's fine because the fences are quite, I would say, nice to each other. But when you have like a final fight between the first 2 most best rated HEMA rate fencers, Miro and Antek, and you don't have any video challenge, and you don't the fuck know what is going on in the field, and then both want to challenge something with video and they don't have any.
Well, the judges are not the
I don't
best,
know.
and at least in my experience, also not all fencers are fair. And I had a really unpleasant experience with this rule set because, yeah, the other person was just not self-calling. So yeah, I don't like it.
I
At
think
Albion.
that's the protest rule, right? We are talking about the protest rule here.
Yes, and also it's really difficult. It's a country where you have mostly English-speaking native speaker, and I'm not a native English speaker, so it's also kind of a language challenge to argue with the judges and the other person if you're not that good with English as them.
Yeah, that's also a point.
And there,
But it's really, I think it's really down to, I would agree with, people are not fair, and that's the thing with self-calling something. I don't like that because I receive so many strikes over my cross guard that just wobbles over with the flat and hitting me, and I noticed there was something, but I myself as a fencer, I can't change the quality and just can tell, well, there was something.
Bro, sometimes I
But I don't know if
self-call.
it was quality,
Sometimes I self-call, I look on the video and I'm like, why the fuck did I self-call
Yeah.
that BS? That was nothing. No.
I just want to fence, and judges are there for a reason. They
Yeah.
need to judge what's going on the bout, and I don't want to think about it. So I'm not the biggest fan of self-calling.
So when it's really obvious, of course you can.
When it's really
self-call,
obvious, okay, and they didn't see it. But
I agree. If you rely a lot on it, then I'm actually not a big fan. That's why I was joking with the F tier.
But it was crazy good organized, by the way. I went this year. It was crazy good organized. It was everything over Hammer score guard, and you came there, and it just everything over scorecard. You don't have any registration or something. You go there, have a weapon check. The weapon check was really fast, and then you continue with fencing. And one thing, I would put it in C tier for one simple reason.
But high or
low? Below. Because when you're fencing multiple weapons and you get penalty cards, you take them with you even in the other weapon category. I fenced 3 weapon categories, and by the first day, I already received all penalty cards possible.
What?
Yeah.
What the fuck are you doing, bro?
In the next, hitting the floor is a yellow card, for example. So it's not that hard to score.
Yeah.
Wait,
I didn't receive one red card. I didn't receive one red card. Only the yellow cards. Only the yellow cards. And then in the next day was long sword, and this was actually the main event for me. And then the judge comes to me, you collect all the penalties possible, and it was like, yeah, but it's the new day. Yeah, no, they take over, even over days. I was like,
and that's a reason for D, in my opinion.
Okay, C or D tier. What are we gonna do, guys?
It's a low C tier because
I really hate the rule with the penalties over the different tournament divisions because it's punishing you for fencing more. No, we can't do that.
Yeah. Yeah, we can put it.
I actually like seeing it in D because it's more rage baiting now.
So
No,
who is the first English guy that comes?
I've never been there, but
also that the place where the tournament happens, it was 8 fencing grounds on a whole. Normal tournaments would only put 3 on.
Okay, but that's not a rule set
So
issue.
it was really everything. Yeah,
That's not a
That's
rule
not a
set
rule set
issue.
That's about
The
organizing
same
stuff,
thing with the
but-
organization. If it's
Yeah.
really well organized, that's not a
Yeah.
rule set
Yeah, you can't
thing.
count it, you can't
Sometimes
count
they
it, yeah.
play into each other, of course, but yeah.
But that was the penalty calls was surprising for me.
Yeah, for me as well.
Okay, then
I had the same experience.
that actually shocked me right now. You're making me wanna sign up less categories. So
we are going to London, but
and
only for
striking the
long-set.
floor.
Sounds like a plan.
What is
That's a-
this? What is
I
it?
also
What
don't
is
That's
this,
an
know this,
Italian
Melissa?
rule set.
Please explain.
I would say it's
Yes.
mostly after blow, but also with a kind of first hit, because you have fully weighted after blow. But if you're striking or thrusting the head, it's stopping the after blow. So even if you start your attack
Okay.
receiving a hit in between, it's for the person going the head first. But they have also some strange rules, or not strange, but unusual rules. For example, you have also this 3 double rule set. So if you double 3 times in the pool, you're both double losers. And also in the final, which is strange. And you have best of 3 final, but only for place 1 and 2, but not for the third one. And you can look your challenge first before you're calling out for the challenge. That's also kind of unusual, I think.
Wait, so you look at your video challenge
Yeah, if the judges are
and then you're gonna
if the
challenge.
judges are discussing the exchange, you can look to your own challenge. Decide what you like to do and then call it afterwards.
So you can
It's-
then
it's-
say,
it's-
"Oh no, I didn't want a video challenge."
Yes.
Actually, I mean
Okay,
that
sorry.
that means
sorry.
that means you can challenge. You can basically look at every exchange and then decide
No,
what you want to challenge.
So the rule
you
set.
cannot call out.
Sounds like it's gonna take
No,
ages.
you cannot call out the challenge and then look to your own phone. But if the judges are discussing, you can look on your phone and call out the challenge afterwards.
Oh, okay, I see issues.
Okay. So the rule set can't decide between S and F tier. It's nice. No, because the rule with hitting the head and there is no after blow after is goated.
It's goated.
It's crazy.
crazy
It's a
good.
crazy good rule. It's crazy
Yeah.
good. But the thing that when the judge is discussing and then your teammates show you, oh, I need to challenge this because see at this angle. Nah.
Yeah, that's
I dislike
F tier.
That's F.
So we middle down on C, or what's the
Ah.
point?
But at least we have a challenge.
Yes, okay, that's actually
At
a
least
good
yes.
point.
Okay.
So it's
Okay.
in between Berlin and the other one.
No, on C tier,
this.
C tier.
Do you like to hear another strange rule of this rule set?
Yeah, please hit us. Come on.
Yeah.
You can score points with touching the mesh of your opponent's mask with your hand. That's also a 2 points action.
So you can basically
Yes.
go like this.
But it needs to be touched with the hand. Not,
Touch with the hand or with
so-
the pommel of your sword.
okay.
Oh,
But that's
with the
okay.
pommel of
That's
the
fine.
sword.
That's
Okay,
fine.
then it's
That's fine.
I see where they are going with this. I think it's funny that you can have someone be like
Yeah, it's kind of
dead.
That
That would be hilarious.
Yeah, it's leading to some funny actions if you're just going into close distance and then try to touch the mask of the other.
Two people are like
Well, that's a good thing. I'm also a big fan of pommel strikes. So I think it's fine.
But I think we should put it behind Berlin HEMA Cup, between the two German ruleset.
Yeah, the thing
I-
with the video challenge that when the judge is discussing
regular video challenge always comes out on top. Just
Yeah.
it's not hard to do, guys.
Just do video challenge,
Okay.
please. everywhere. If you don't win your challenge, do it the next tournament.
So the thing with these three is they are actually all very similar.
Runnerstich wasn't
So
similar
this
to
is-
Bratzky and Zuclord.
I mean, you had to
What is-
have made an algebra university degree. I don't know.
But
to
Runnerstich is,
calculate the points in this. It was like,
but
okay,
but
it
it's
was deep,
basically
so
no
it's,
afterblow, or it's no afterblow. It's actually weighted doubles with first hit.
it's weighted doubles yet with
Yeah.
first
So
hit.
this
Very
is
similar
actually-
to Helsinki.
It's
like it's
Yeah.
just a tiny
I
bit
think
shorter.
it's
So
a
there's not a lot
3-2
of
system,
difference.
and one-handed actions can scores 1 point less. So you have 3-2, and one-handed
Yeah.
actions are scoring 1 less, and you are fencing to 10 and 15 points.
It ended up in funny things. It was like, okay, here, deep target, 3 points, but it's actually one-handed, so it's 1 point, 1 point less, and then you have left, and it was funny at first. But they actually, after a few rounds, all the judges had it in, and then it went smooth.
Wasn't there this year, or was the year before? Also didn't fence, just coached my fence, my trainees, and it was a solid rule set. I think it was okay.
Yeah, I'm gonna be real. I think it's, for me personally, I think it's up with these
You have
two.
a challenge and you're
for
not
real.
allowed to hit with the flat?
You had a challenge.
I'm
You have
You
challenge.
have challenge,
You
and I
have
think you're
challenge.
also losing the
Yeah.
challenge. And I think flat hits count. Yeah, flat hits
For
count,
me,
definitely.
it was definitely my personal S tier. Also because you have to go to so many points. 10 and 15 points for LMs and pools were so much fun to fence. The rule set
True.
was definitely valid with the point scoring system. That one-handed depolarization was there, so I couldn't fence one-handed primarily, which was a big positive thing for me. So I just would put it straight up in S tier.
Nah, for me it can't be S tier if you're allowed to hit with the flat.
That's valid.
No.
Completely valid.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
what Czech tournaments have gotten a lot better in, I want to throw this in, is they throw out a lot more for invalidity than, like, from my feeling at least, than like 2 years ago. 2 years ago,
Yeah.
basically anything would count, but in the last 2 years they've gotten more, like they put in more validity rules. So, well, not just rules, they just changed the reffing of the rules, but it actually elevated the tournaments for me a lot. So I see it in A tier too, not S tier, because probably there's no S tier rule set.
I think for us
in history.
personally, yes, but I think we couldn't agree on one.
Yes, that's
We all have our our inner winners. We all
Okay,
are completely
then-
non-biased.
That Poslední argument is essentially the same rules that we use. It's a first tempo kind of rule, so you have doubles, and they came back to it this year. They are assigning priority based on target zone. So everything is 1 point, but if one person hits torso with a thrust and other person goes to the hands, then only the deep target counts, and it's 1 point for the deep target. In case of the same being hit, it was just a double with 1 point each. And that's it. And you can win with doubles too.
You have a challenge?
So you have challenge, yeah.
You can win with doubles.
You also
this
didn't
is,
have.
This is a plus for me.
You also didn't.
No. You remember Innsbruck? Innsbruck final.
Oh, bro, that was.
Yeah,
Oh,
that's
bro.
no.
No.
That's the reason why we don't do this anymore.
That was so
It
bad.
was one clean hit, and the rest were doubles.
Okay, this sounds like
You have to say a
insane
lot of them
fencing.
were called doubles. They would have actually been afterblows.
Yeah,
If you
no.
ask me. A lot of things that were called doubles were actually afterblows. But I agree that it's anticlimactic if you win a fight with a double.
That's the problem. If you really get points, 1 point each with doubles,
Maybe like this.
it's just, I don't know. At one point, if you are like 8-6 or so, then the fight is basically over. Because this is like a harsh reality people need to understand. When I want to double, I can't double. There's always one stupid action I can pull off that leads to touching someone, you know?
But if you already have shown that you can hit clean, it's up to the other person to hit clean.
Yeah,
So
but when you hit
from
one,
that idea.
but when you get lucky, like once, because of a tempo issue or whatever, then it's just, it's completely random. Because that's the reason why we have all. I remember when I started tournament fencing, it's like 3 or 4 years ago, we had this issue that people started to use all the time Geisel and one-handed motions. All the time. There was like tournaments where it's just only this one action, and then they came up with priority of deep targets, priority hands over whatever, priority of 2 hands on the sword over 1 hand. This was all rules that exists or start existing within the last 3 years because of this issue. You've waited to have double hits, both get 1 point, and at one point just throwing Geisel into every action and receiving 1 for 1. And this is like the main this is like the main problem we have. It's like one-handed strikes, and everyone gets 1 point for double. This is like the two most
So
or the two biggest
the
problems.
thing is with this, so if everything was 1 point, I might agree. I still think that if you're up 1 point, then it's up to the other person to show they can fence clean. In this case, in this rule set, because you have a target priority, you can it's actually a lot harder to double.
Okay.
Because if one person gets deep, it's the same that we talked about with the Feder rule set. If one person goes deep and the other doubles, but it ends up being shallow, then it's still point for the deep target. Which makes these kind of it makes it harder to pull off that strategy. You can't just throw a Geiseln, for example, because you open up your deep target so much.
Yeah. Well, then it's better, I think. But I'm still not a big fan of both receiving a point by double.
As an organizer, both parties receiving a point is amazing because it's very calculatable.
It goes over
when
fast.
a match ends, because it ends at a point, which is very
And you
good.
can also do it with the other rule sets. For the Feder rule set, you can also just double until the time is running out. I already saw it in 2 finals, so it's also possible.
Yeah, same. I saw it this year.
One issue which I have
it's
with the
possible.
Bratsky argument rule set is that they are having no one-handed deprioritization. So I can one hand thrust you into the head or torso while you're stabbing me into the chest and no one gets a point. Also, if you hit me in the hand, I can just immediately throw a Geiseln and cancel out your hand hit. Which means that I can predominantly fence one-handed. And I did, pretty much.
If you are in the same tempo,
Yes.
then yes.
As long as you have tempo or you are in the same tempo, you can predominantly fence one-handed. Also, if he goes...
That's basically the thing for both of these rule sets, which this is the Zutzelot rule set. We also didn't deprioritize one-handed strikes for a simple reason, actually, because last year and this year again, we did not feel like there was a meta of one-handed attacks. So if we end up with a huge amount of one-handed attacks, then we would probably end up putting a rule as well, but it just didn't happen, so we did not feel like we have to do this. And I feel like the deep target versus shallow target removes a lot of these things, especially the Geiseln. You can still pull off a lot of one-handed bullshit with deep target thrusts, but it's a bit harder than throwing a Geiseln, for example. Yeah.
So I'm gonna vote for high B.
High B.
I go for a low B.
Low B.
I
actually think this
pretty-
is an A in my
I
opinion.
think it's the highest B tier for me.
Highest B tier.
Yeah,
we
I
can put
agree on a high
we can
B.
put
It's
we
okay.
can we can put it in a high
It's
B tier.
simple.
Yeah.
That's a good point. It's easy to understand.
And it's also fun to fence,
Yes.
definitely.
Yeah. And then we basically have the exact same rule set.
But you can't win with a
Straight up
double.
S tier.
But you can't win with a
But you
double.
cannot win with a
Wait a
double.
minute, that
Yes.
actually changes
So
things.
it's still 1 point each if it's the same target, but if it's 5 to 4, for example, then you cannot win the 4 to 3, for example. Then you cannot win with 5 to 4.
So
with a
I'm
double.
considering to use this rule
You-
set for our next tournament, so put it into S.
I mean, it's
it's fine. It's fine. We can
back
do
to
it.
my rules.
I would also definitely rate it at least A tier, because I think it changes a lot if you can't win with a double, if you have to win cleanly, or at least with tempo. So for me, it's definitely a tier.
Okay.
Yeah.
And it still satisfies, this is the best compromise about this, it still satisfies the organizer in me that wants consistency in the match. So I'm roughly certain how long one match takes.
Yeah, I fenced it 2 years ago. It was perfectly fine. So
1
I
year
don't have
ago.
any issue.
It's not that long.
2 years? I was like
Last
2020.
year, May.
Last year, yeah. Sorry. Yeah, it was good. It was fine.
Okay. No, you guys can be honest here. Like
We are not biased. We are
No, it's just
You
it's a
guys
really.
we are definitely not bought from you.
Well, we could.
It would have been an S tier if you have weighted target areas. Then it
But
would
we
be
can
S
put
tier
it into.
for me.
it,
Because I
it
think
has weighted target area.
We can put it into S tier
Now?
for
Really?
more weight weight.
No.
It has it had weighted target last year too.
No, there was just 1-1.
Oh, you
didn't
mean
receive-
points?
Points, yeah, weighted target areas.
Okay.
So
I mean, it's kind of a weighted
Points.
target area, but it's just.
yeah, but you get 2 points for.
But
deep
you only
target.
get 1 point. Yeah.
Yeah. So
Okay.
I'm a big fan of when I have good big actions to toss on head that I get more points.
Okay. Yeah, we felt like actually this helps. This was our idea. This helps deep actions sometimes more than this, for example. It's a bit different, but here, if you land a deep target and you get hit on the shallow target, then you get 1 point only. And here you can only get 1 point anyway. So it makes it a bit more meaningful to go deep, actually. But at the same time, a hand hit is counted at the same height, the same amount. So yeah, you can also just win with shallow targets, and you take the same time to win with shallow targets. If you throw 2 or 3 clean deep target hits, the match is over. So it rewards deep target fencing in different ways.
Okay.
I can agree it being here though.
For me, it's just keep it with everything 1 point. It's definitely a solid, good, fanciful rule set. It makes a lot of fun. It has nice, interesting exchanges. Nothing to say against it.
You guys, you don't need to tell me. That's fine the way it is, yeah. Actually, we considered doing it more like Brunner Stich a bit, but then we were like, okay, well, 1 point each is just more simple, so we are gonna run with it.
So to
Okay.
round things up, do we have to change everything? Is the order correctly? What do you guys think?
I think the feather rule set is straight up S.
I
I felt in love. I went 2 years ago and I felt immediately
I
in love.
think we
Just
have to
makes
have
so
an
much
S
sense
tier.
and so
So
fun.
I think we need to pick at least
have to
one
have
F
an S
tier.
tier.
S tier, sorry.
Is it possible to get an S tier rule set?
That's a good question.
Hmm?
Question for the philosophers.
Okay, so put feather to S.
Okay, I don't see it. I don't want it as S tier.
Perfect.
No, it's
Now we can finish.
so well balanced.
No, like just
Well, no, it's actually a really good A tier because I think when they add the a priority of parry post to longsword, then it's S.
okay. That's for the future. It could be S tier.
It could be.
And if they increase the point increment, the point to win a bow, that's just too low.
Yeah, 7 points would be easier. Yeah. It would be at least 4 exchanges. You know?
But
Yes.
I think we
Yes.
have a solid tier list now. This works. I'm happy
Yeah.
with it. We can leave it at that.
I'm gonna put this in the...
No!
Don't fuck it up.
No. I just like really simple, okay?
So it was a lot of fun yapping with you about rule sets and talking myself to the grave. I'm very much looking forward for your comment sections.
And also, I want to add one point. Every tournament rule set that didn't make it to the list is straight up F tier. So
if
just
your rule set basically
not people spamming their own tournament ideas in the comments, is straight up F tier. Don't forget it.
Okay.
Yeah, my biggest consideration is actually if we were able to explain the rule sets good enough that you can understand it. Because from an outside, it's very hard to see the rule sets from an, like, we have the inside perspective basically. So because we have fenced these rule sets, but without having fenced these, understanding them is like, it's a bit hard. So I'm interested what the viewers are going to think about that, actually.
Yeah, I also don't think that there are any existing rule set that are so much different from what we have on this list. So
Well,
need to be
there are more
fair.
continuous fencing rules that we didn't have to look up.
Yeah, also,
But
aren't
who
there
does
some
that?
rule sets?
It just
Yeah,
would
that's the
mean another
Scandinavian
F tier,
people.
so it's basically we didn't talk about it.
Don't have like the Scandinavian somewhere in Sweden or in Norway? Isn't there a rule set where you have an afterblow window that is so long that you need to have 2 hits, 2 follow-up hits without receiving any afterblow? Then the bout only then stops. So you need to hit 2 clean hits without any afterblow, and then you got the point.
That's crazy.
Isn't that something the Scandinavians are doing?
I don't know. Another rule set that would have actually interested me, but I haven't fenced it, and I don't think any of you have. That's why I didn't put it on. But Bulgarian or the Romanian one?
You mean the one from
not sure.
Sofia Cross Sword?
Yeah, Sofia Cross Sword.
Yeah, the Bulgarians.
They have that that action-based afterblow, I think they called it. So you can hit, and if you parried after that, then the afterblow is closed. Or if you hit the head, then the afterblow is closed. And if you have hit and then hit again, then the afterblow is closed. So I would have liked to include it, but I don't think any of us have fenced it. So
no, I'm going to in November.
You're going to?
So if we are doing this thing again, then we include it.
There's also an interesting one in Montpellier. They have something really for wrestling, so they kind of ignore shallow targets if you go to wrestle and doing some actions there. I've never fenced with that, but people showed me, I don't want to say injuries, but wrestling actions.
So it's a wrestling tournament disguised as a sword tournament, basically. Or at least this is what it sounds like.
Yeah, I think it's an interesting way to see HEMA fencing.
Finally, more F tier.
Is there something below F tier?
I've never fenced it. Let's keep it at that.
Maybe it's great,
Good.
and I just don't know.
Yeah.
I even understand the idea that you discount shallow hits, because when you go into fencing, into wrestling distance, there are a lot of things that get counted. Like, if you want to stop wrestling from longsword fencing, you can always do that, because there's always some kind of contact between a sword and a forearm, for example. Maybe that was the idea, but how it ends up looking in the tournament is the other thing.
I think every ruleset has a nice idea behind it, but the practical way of using it is not always the best.
That's actually that's actually a good thing to add, though. I don't
we
think
can talk
there's a
about that.
tournament organizer out there that's like, I'm gonna make a worse day for the fencers. Usually, they want to have a good tournament with a good rule set that they are behind, but it's not always how it ends up being. So,
I think every organizer thinks he has the best rule set at some point, or at least the rule set that follows his or her fencing philosophy. So
Actually, I don't care that much about the rules that we're gonna use. I just need to be functional, and
yeah, most of the time don't read it when I compete somewhere. It's just
same.
it's
On
just
the way in the car, it's like, Max,
that's why
because we travel together
What are
a
we
lot.
gonna do
It's like,
today? Is it an afterblow? Is it a priority?
What?
Is it first hit? What do I have to do to win?
No, usually the conversation ends there. It's like, Max, what's the rule set? Wait, I could look it up. No, I'm not gonna look it up. It's over.
that's why I always forget the rule set in Poland. I've been there for so many tournaments, and I just don't know. Just fans.
yeah.
You know, that's also a positive thing.
Just
Every time you are there, you learn something new.
Yeah.
It keeps things fresh.
Yes, exactly.
Yeah.
People coming towards me and telling me, "Why haven't you done this and or that? You would have won." Yeah, because
Yeah,
it's
no.
not funny.
As long as the
because we all should hit without being hit. You know, it's like the core fencing philosophy. And when you're doing this, then you don't need to read
just
the
don't
rules.
lose, bro.
Bro, the amount of times I've
And then
read
it's just
that
weird.
in rule sets is at least one, but I think that's
Yeah.
in a lot of rule sets.
It's like the idea, you know, but
Yeah.
we wouldn't need any rules at all if people follow that, but it just happens. So
Yeah.
it's not intentional that people say, oh, well, I go into the tournament and I double the shit to the finals, you know. It does no one. It just happens, you know. Time to time. Okay.
Good. I think we're done.
Yeah, nice. If you're disagreeing, you're wrong. And have a nice evening.
Leave a comment, argue in the comments.
Just go crazy because you
That's-
reset this.
that's
make
engagement.
STR.
I guess. Shit, I have to cut this.